Hello and welcome to RT Machinery. I'd like to spend a few minutes just talking to you about the Scag V-Ride II and the system of the Scag V-Ride II. Scag is one of our premium brands, very strong, well-built machines built for the commercial market, and the V-Ride II system has revolutionised and brought Scag to the front end of the commercial field in compact, powerful and versatile grass cutting machinery. We'll do a general walkthrough around the machine and look at some of the key features and the benefits, and start really with the powerhouse, which is the Kawasaki engine system. There are a range of engines available, just as there are a range of cutting widths available. This particular machine, the V-Ride II 48-inch, and in this configuration with a rear discharge cutting deck. But back to the engine, Kawasaki V-Twin. In this instance it's a 22 horsepower, 736 cc V-Twin, drawing air through a commercial air filter system where we've got a dual cyclone cleaning method. We're drawing in through the breather at the bottom end, and then we've got a paper element sitting in here which is allowing the cyclonic cleaning through the initial cleaner at the top there. Quick access for being able to clean and check the filter, which is just a push on and clip mechanism at the back. Once that's in place, you've got the little squeezer there to let any moisture or any dust out on a daily check. Over the top of the engine, drawing in the air through the engine here. This side around to the right of me, there's the engine dipstick, which is here with our upper and lower levels. Exhaust system sitting at the front of the engine with a good guard system over the top. And then we're drawing our fuel in through and fuel from the large 30-litre fuel tank on the side here. Whopping great big filler cap with a little anti-splash neck at the top, and then a fuel gauge on top of the tank. Drawing down through a small filter system here through to the pump, then pushing through to the fuel and carburation system. Very powerful, running through to an Agora electromagnetic clutch underneath the engine, which is allowing us a simple click in and click out PTO engagement. That's driving the belt around the 3 blade spindles, allowing the material to be clipped and cut. With the Scag we have a very well thought out cutting deck design. We've got an adjustable anti-scalp roller at the front end, 2-position on here. We've got the V form of the deck at the front, which is allowing movement of air between the front end of the deck before you get to the blade chamber and the blade rotational point. It's allowing an air gap of approximately 50 mil, which allows it to lift and pull the grass back up what the deck may have pushed over to present ready for the blade to come through and cut. Our blade mechanism, as I say, is 3 blades on the 48, belt driven with spring tension, easy access under these covers here either side, and a further access point across the top of the deck to get to the central spindle. All suspended on the 4 points, 2 front, 2 rear, on these chains with these little adjustable cam lobes here to allow you to balance and square the deck over time. There's no 2 ways, the deck's going to get a knock and a bump now and again, and if we've got a system where we can adjust and level that plane, which we have with the Scags, it just allows for adjustment over the years going forward. You'll see while I'm here the type of metal we're talking about with a Scag machine. They're built in the US by a parent company called Metalcraft, and it really is what Scag's all about. This very high strength, large profile steel throughout the machine. You'll also see here we've got grease nipples where they count on all the major pivot points, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. Just to give you an idea of what the blade mechanism is all about with a Scag, unlike a lot of machines that use aluminium blade housings, with a Scag it's a cast steel blade housing with taper roller bearings top and bottom, and a proper machine shaft going through those bearings. The blade fitment, instead of being a little dummy bolt with washer, we have a long bolt that goes up through the Marbane steel blade, which is a real tough resharpenable blade, up through the spindle, so that the weak point is the actual bolt itself. But the beauty of that is that bolt is replaceable as a component part. It's also, once it's in position, secured from the top with a nut, which means as the blade head wears, working in the grass and in the rough conditions, we're not relying on that point to get a spanner point on. All we need to be able to do is hold tension on the blade and release from the top. So long life, 3-year warranty on the actual housing itself, and then if you like, the break point is the bolt, which can be replaced as a simple component. Really tough in how they're put together and what they do. Front end, the two caster wheels at the front are solid puncture free tyres, sealed pressure filled grease points on the bearings on the spindles. Back wheels coming round to the back end, heavy duty, strong sidewalled with a strong ply rating turf tyre, also available with a tractive tyre. We want to get more traction and more grip, we can go to a tractive tread. We've got a cleaner on the back of the tyres, just scraping, helping us keep clean. You can see here the deck that we've been talking about is a rear discharge. This is specially modified in the UK to cope with our conditions along roadways, pathways, verges, to give us rear discharge. We can build with a side discharge and or with a mulch kit if required and if preferred. Back end of the machine, as we come round to the back, we come to the operator platform. That's a coil spring supported suspension platform for the operator to stand on. And once you're in and standing against the machine, we've got the nice comfort pad for us to put our body weight and our legs against. And from here, I've got full visibility and full control around the machine. Cutting deck height management, lift and lower, is on a lever system with a pin mechanism allowing me to select the cutting point or the cutting height that I require to then drop down to. So in cut, down into my cutting position. For loading or for transporting, I can bring that back up into a lock position. If I want to adjust my height of cut, it's just a matter of bringing the pin round, changing it to a different position and dropping back down to that point. So quick height adjustment, all on that one suspension lever. Access into the back end to get to the hydraulic pumps. 2 adjustable controls here, and I can remove and pull back and remove the pad plate to give me access in to the back. So very accessible. Hydraulic drive to the wheel motors. 2 pumps driving 2 individual wheel motors, both with a neutral point, and those pumps warranted and guaranteed for 24 months. Main controls, control bars and control levers, forward for forward, back for back. Handbrake mechanism. If I release the handbrake, machine wouldn't start. Has to be on, handbrake on, ready in a start position. PTO off, a little bit of choke, ignition. As I put the ignition on, I light up the Tiger Eye system. This is a real-time indicator of all of my main safety checks really. Parking brake on, neutral, PTO off, operator on platform, and then looking at the gauge here, we've got hour meter, how many working hours, what battery power, talking to us in real time as to what we're doing with the machine. So ignition on, a little bit of throttle, PTO off. off, throttle control, handbrake off from that point. From that tone that a lot of the noise is generated, which is putting us to a position where we'd need to be wearing ear defenders if we were using it in work. That noise that's generated is air movement. As with all grass cutting machines, the secret really is getting grass in the front end, out the back, and that's done through air movement and blade movement. A very, very powerful movement of material and air. Parking brake back on and the machine is safe and ready to start again. Parking brake on, a little bit of rest on that point. Turn it on a sixpence. Easy to load, safe to load. The compact size of the machine is allowing us to get these into the back of a van to go from site to site without having to worry about a trailer, or if we are trailering, the physical tightness of the build means that we could probably get 2-3 units on one trailer, weight allowing and vehicle allowing, but very productive, allowing a team to go out or teams to go out. All in all, a package with a spend relative to probably 50% of a major ride-on mower, but giving you the same productivity as a ride-on mower. So we think this is one of our top tools, and it's a thumbs up from RT Machinery for Scag and bringing these fine pieces of kit for us to sell.